By the mid-1970s, Led Zeppelin were untouchable. They were gods of rock, larger than life, louder than everyone, and unstoppable on stage. But for Robert Plant, their golden-voiced frontman, the sound that made them immortal was also destroying him. He could still hit the impossible notes. He could still command arenas with one breath. But as the years went on, he began to wonder if the power that defined him was also trapping him. And there was one song, one immortal anthem, that came to symbolize that struggle. A song he once called the best and the worst thing I ever did. That song was Stairway to Heaven. Released in 1971 on Led Zeppelin 4, Stairway to Heaven was unlike anything else in rock at the time. It wasn't a single. It wasn't meant to be. It was an experience, an 8-minute journey that began as a whisper and ended as a storm. Jimmy Page built it layer by layer, a cathedral of sound built from acoustic guitars, recorders, and one of the most iconic electric solos in history. But it was Robert Plant's voice that carried it. His delivery was pure alchemy, gentle storytelling giving way to full-blown transcendence. By the final verse, when he sang, "And as we wind on down the road," it felt like the heavens themselves opened. It became their anthem, the song that audiences demanded, that radio stations couldn't stop playing, that even musicians stood in awe of. And yet, for Robert Plant, it also became a burden. Plant loved the song when it was born. He had written the lyrics in a flash of inspiration, scribbling on paper by candlelight in a cottage in Wales. He later described it as a song of hope about finding light in darkness. But as years turned into decades, that hope began to fade, replaced by something heavier. Every show, every encore, every demand for Stairway began to feel like a chain. He once said, "You can't carry that kind of song forever. It's too big. It starts to sing you instead of you singing it." Fans wanted the same voice they remembered, the golden high notes, the youthful roar. But Plant had changed. His voice had changed. He wasn't 23 anymore, and he didn't want to pretend he was. "I don't want to scream for the rest of my life," he said later. "I'd rather whisper something new." Robert Plant's vocal range was once a force of nature, a banshee wail that defined hard rock. But it came at a cost. Years of touring, exhaustion, and emotional strain had begun to reshape his instrument. Instead of fighting it, Plant evolved. He learned to use silence, breath, and nuance. He began to see singing not as domination, but as conversation. That shift became clear when he stopped performing Stairway to Heaven in his solo career. While Page would have played it forever, Plant chose not to. He respected the song, but he didn't want to live inside it. "It's like visiting an old photograph," he said. "You love it, but you can't stay there." To him, Stairway belonged to a younger version of himself, the dreamer searching for meaning. But he had already found what that young man was looking for. As the years passed, the song's shadow grew. Audiences around the world treated it like sacred scripture, the song that defined rock itself. It topped countless greatest of all time lists, inspired generations of guitarists, and haunted every cover band from London to Los Angeles. But that reverence only deepened Plant's unease. He saw Stairway as a moment in time. Beautiful, yes, but frozen. To sing it again felt like stepping into a museum. He wanted movement, not preservation. "It's a beautiful song," he admitted, "but I can't climb that stairway forever." In 2007, when Led Zeppelin reunited for one night at London's O2 Arena, fans wondered if Plant would finally sing it again. He did, and it was magic. But after that, he walked away. He refused every offer for another reunion, no matter how massive the payday. He said, "I don't want to become a jukebox. The past is wonderful, but it's gone. I'm more interested in what's next." It was a bold choice, to turn down the very song that made him immortal. But it was the same defiance that made Led Zeppelin great in the first place. After Zeppelin, Robert Plant reinvented himself over and over. From the Honey Drippers to Page and Plant, and later Raising Sand with Alison Krauss, he embraced new sounds, Americana, folk, world music. Each era, he sang softer, lower, wiser. He found freedom in restraint. He no longer needed to prove anything, least of all his ability to scream. When you're young, you shout because you think that's how people hear you. Later, you realize they listen when you whisper. That was Robert Plant's evolution. Not a loss, but a transformation. Today, Stairway to Heaven remains one of the most powerful songs ever written. It's still played daily somewhere in the world, a monument to the golden age of rock. But for Robert Plant, its meaning lies not in the past, but in what he learned from it. That true artistry isn't about repeating what once worked. It's about daring to change. He could have spent the rest of his life singing that song, but instead, he chose to keep searching for new ones. "I loved it," he said, "but I don't live there anymore." And in that choice, to walk away from the stairway everyone else still worships, Robert Plant didn't just save his voice, he saved his soul,